Hey guys, how's it going? So I'm gonna be honest, today was a really tough day. It's like 11:20 p.m. and there's still technically some work that I could be doing right now, but I wanted to take a quick break and record a video so that I could stay on track for my video a day goal. And honestly, I just kind of turned on the camera and hoped that something good would emerge, and I think I've got something fun for you guys. So I was just kind of like clicking through like a couple of links and I stumbled across this article in the Boston Globe. Okay, the Boston Globe. All right, this isn't The Onion, this is the Boston Globe. And the title of the article is "Bottle Flipping Becomes the Rage with Middle Schoolers." I'd seen a video on this on YouTube a couple of days ago, and I didn't think it was like a real thing, but apparently it's a real thing. So I tried out the activity, and there's a fair amount of skill involved, and I can definitely see the draw and the appeal. It's maddening when you're not able to get the bottle like upright. You definitely feel the sense of accomplishment after you achieve your goal. So anyway, the activity itself is fairly entertaining, but I think that this article is legitimately one of the funniest things that I've read in a long time. I mean, listen to this. Quote, "It's an epidemic," Elisa Lefrancois of East Taunton said recently as one of her 4 children attempted to flip a bottle into the cup holder of her car. "My son went to the Little League World Series and they were teaching the kids from Japan how to do it. And for the kids, the draw is simple. Even in an age of digital distractions, the diversion is quick, it's portable, and while the science behind it is actually fairly elaborate, it requires no training." Oh my gosh, this next paragraph is so great. As Nolan Berry, 13, a 7th grader from Foxborough, earnestly explains, "It's something that you just have to experience." Having experienced it firsthand, Nolan, I'm totally with you. And here's the best part. I mean, hats off to the investigative reporting team here. For those wondering how this started, or simply in search of a target for their ire, a good place to start would be Michael Senatore, an 18-year-old from Charlotte, North Carolina, who could best be described as the godfather of bottle flipping. An 18-year-old godfather. Last spring, finding himself without an act for his high school talent show, Senatore decided to try his hand at bottle flipping, a hobby that he and his classmates had dabbled in a year earlier. Armed with some dramatic music and good amount of swagger, the teen strolled onto stage and with the flip of a wrist, landed a small, partly filled plastic bottle upright onto a nearby table. The newsworthiness of this story is what slays me. But that being said, I have to give it to the Globe because this is not just a puff piece. Like, they actually had like scientific consult and illustrators on this article, and I can show you. There's an entire section on the physics of bottle flipping. So you can see the delivery and release. Those techniques are very important. And then of course, here's the breakdown. So there's the science in the toss. Shows you approximately where the center of mass would be, what the appropriate level of fullness is, shows you the correct technique, the angular momentum generated by the rotations, and then there's this description of the way that the relative velocity of the spin slows as the bottle uprights itself and plants itself down on the surface. So armed with this information, I decided to give it a try, and I have to say, I'm a promoter of this activity. I think that it requires some challenge, and it requires a bunch of trial and error, and it was a really fun use of like 10 minutes of my night. As silly as this all seems, it actually left me feeling kind of optimistic for the future of this world. I mean, it seems like for the better part of the last decade, we've reached this saturation point of electronics in our life where everybody's attention has been glued to a tiny screen in the palm of their hand. And it's almost like we've become so overloaded with digital distractions that the universe is kind of imploded in on itself, and it's like the 1950s again. But instead of like kicking cans down the street, we're flipping bottles of water onto countertops. Anyway, this has absolutely nothing to do with anything that Project Reboot is about, other than the fact that I promised you a video a day, and this is my contribution for today. Hope you guys had a good day. I'll see you tomorrow.